Aliases. What are those aliases? Well, in real life, aliases like a short name or easier name or something easier to remember. So I'm sure everybody has a like a nickname when you were growing up, and just like other people who are very famous. Just look at 50 Cent. He has his real name is Curtis James, and there's another one like another example would be Pitbull. His real name is Armando Perez. So those are the real names, but their aliases is shorter. So the shorter version and the shorter name they have is because it's easier for people to remember them. So it's the same way aliases work in Linux too. So there are very long commands that you run almost every day, but you need a shorter version of it. And how do you create a shorter version or a shorter word for it? Is by creating aliases. So again, alias is a very popular command that is used to cut down on lengthy and repetitive commands. And some of those examples that I have listed here, we will cover those examples one by one in our Linux machine. So this way you exactly know how aliases work. So let's go to our machine, and we'll go into our Oracle Virtual Machine console terminal, and we will try these aliases command one by one. So the first command I have in aliases is ls. So oftentimes if you want to know all the files with minus L and A option to listing, or A for to also show the hidden files, we will run the command ls minus LA or AL, and you will see all the listing of the files and directories we have in our home directory. And this is our home directory. So time we run that command, oftentimes we'll forget the option. So what we will do, we'll create an alias. So we'll create alias, and instead of just ls, I'll create L equal quote ls minus AL quote close, and just hit enter. Once you hit enter and you don't get an error message back, it means the alias is created. Now, how do you verify if it's created? By simply running an alias. But L was our alias, and let's run it. And there you go, we got the output as if you were running the whole command. Let's create another alias. The other alias, what it will do, it will do the pwd for you and also do ls for you. So two commands in one shot that you don't have to run twice. So we'll do pl. I picked the word just for print working directory, and ls equal quote pwd, and you separate each command with semicolon and ls and quote close. You hit enter, and now when I'm going to type pl, I should get pwd and ls command running. So first let's clear the screen, and I'm going to write pl. And there you go. So the first command it ran was pwd, next command it ran ls. So every time I log into a system, I'll just do pl and it will run those two commands for me. Let's keep going on, and let's try our third one, which has three commands: who am I, hostname, and pwd. So I want you to create that alias on your own. I'm gonna go on to the next one. Next one is it will list all the directories inside of my home directory. I could run the command ls minus L, and I grab it, and the cap right here that you see, which is on top of number 6, it's telling the grep everything that starts with D. So I'll run that, and you'll see it grepped everything in the output that starts with D. So of course anything that starts with D is what is a directory. So that's what it's getting. So I'm going to create an alias for it, and I'm going to call it dir equal quote ls minus L, and I'm gonna grab it, the D, enter. Clear the screen, and let's see if it's working by typing dir. And yes, it is working. Then I'm gonna try the last command in my list. So what last command is doing, sorry, I just have to move this a little more and resize it so you'll see the last command. So what last command is doing is, of course, it's doing df minus h. Let's run df minus h, which will output your partitions information, the size, where is it mounted, and how much is used. And the next command it's doing, df minus h, is printing, it's awking the last column, I believe. Yes, $6, close, and you will see it is showing you, let me make this smaller too. Okay, so it's listing everything that is in the last column, which is a column 6. Now I want to get in that output, I want to get only the first 4 characters of this output. So I'm going to run the command again, and I'm going to do cut -c 1 through 4. Hit enter, and there you go. This is what it's telling me, that the last column, these are the partitions that I have in my Linux distribution. Sometimes you do want to run that command just to find out what partitions you have. You don't want to look at the other information that df-h gives you. So I'm going to create an alias for that. So I'll just hit up arrow key, of course, to bring the command back. I'll go back all the way to the beginning of the line by hitting the left arrow key. I'll type alias, and I'm gonna name this alias as just D, equal, of course I have to put quotation here, double quote, and there is one little thing you have to change here is, you see here $sign. In Linux, $sign has what meaning, if you guys remember? $sign is actually outputs a variable. Whatever that you have variable inside that you attach in the scripting, it actually puts it in there. So it will think that it's a variable too. So we don't want to tell it it's a variable. So how we could change that, or how we could tell Linux not to think it as a alias, as a variable. So I'm going to put backslash. After putting the backslash, I'll move all the way to the end and hit quotation, close, hit enter, and it created my alias. Now if I do D again, let's clear the screen. I'm going to do a D again, and there you go. It's doing exactly the same thing we wanted to do, except with all that long tedious command, you don't have to run it all the time. So it's much easier. Every time you log into the system, you type D and you'll get your information. Isn't that cool? It is very cool, because that's why most of the time people use aliases, so it will be easier to remember and do the tedious work in a very short amount of time. Now, where are those aliases created? Once you type aliases without any creating any new commands, just type aliases, hit enter, you will see right here, it will give you all the aliases that I have created. If you notice right here, this is one, these are the 2, another one right here, and then there are another one right here, and the last one, no, this was other ones that are already created. It's already there by the system, by default, it's already there for us, so I don't have to touch it. Now what if I wanted to remove that alias from the list of aliases that I created? Simply, there's a command to do it, is unalias, and you type the alias name. So if you notice, the first alias we have an alias name just D. So I'm going to just type D. It unaliased it. Let's see if it still exists. You just type alias and see if the alias exists there or not. It does not. It's gone. There's another alias, dir. I'm going to unalias as well, dir. And then I'm going to try to check if it's there. Nope, it's gone. So it's just that simple. It's masking something. It's creating a shortcut key for you to run in Linux environment.